let's see. Make sure I'm actually here. What's this? All right, cool. Yeah, let's finish up these drawings. Maybe do some more. Let's see. Let's see how far we get. You know, earlier when I was doing this, somebody was asking me if there's any what characters are annoying to draw or something like that. I should add to my list any character that has shiny parts to their costume. Some people are really good at drawing shiny stuff. I am not. I mean, I'm okay with it. But I have to. It's definitely something to get more practiced at it. Some people, I do it like they really are able to simplify it, and you know exactly what it is. I haven't got it that down yet. Yeah, like, let's see. At the corners, you would have the where the darker lines would be. At the corners of the planes, where the surfaces meet. So that's essentially where the shiny parts are, right? That it's like the like if you're looking at his shoulder here. Is this working? If you're looking at like this shoulder here, this part would be the reflection from the bottom. So it's probably like the ground, and this part would be the reflection from the top. And so in the middle here would be everything that's reflected, but I'm not going to draw everything he's walking past. So you just kind of make a dark line and and it immediately reads as what it's supposed to be. But I'm just not, I guess I just don't do it enough. This is Booster Gold, so I should show you guys. It's a commission. I took a bunch of commissions that I told people I would do when, you know, on the weekend when I was supposed to be at Comic-Con. And now that weekend is here, so I actually have to do them. I'm actually finally on the hook. And have to make good on them. Just a warning to people who are expecting commissions from me, I probably have a lot more than I can do this weekend, so it might be a while before I get to all of them. But they'll get done, don't worry. Let's see, so I have Booster Gold here, got a Captain America from, I keep wanting to say Endgame, it's not Endgame, because I think he had his full costume back on that one. The one before that, Infinity War, and Wolverine. And then I got a couple I gotta finish up that I did previously. Like this one's pretty cool. Spider-Man and Moon Knight versus Carnage, and this. This game. Hang on. Okay. And there's this Ghost Rider piece here that I've got to finish up. It's pretty much done. I just got to add a couple of highlights, and I want to put some background in that area there. I've got a couple other little drawings I just did for fun that maybe I'll add some color to, and these have just been warm-up sketches. I don't know. If anyone wants a cool Batman picture, let me know. No one's claimed this one yet, and no one's claimed this robe yet either, but I kind of like that one, so maybe I don't want to sell it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But first, let's get these bad boys finished up. Wolverine. I'm just going to add some gray tones. Nelson, you can ink it if you want, man. Nelson asked me to be inking that. Nelson's helping me out on my Batman project, my secret Batman project over at DC. Let's see, anyone else said anything? Here is this. You hear this marker squeak as I'm using it because I'm too lazy to refill the ink. I probably should do this. Or I have another one. I have another one. Let's see how long I can be busy. This one looks. Oh, it's complete dead. Oh, do I have to refill it? No. There we go. Aha. Laziness once again. No. A bunch of these are running out. I actually do want to refill this. Just what I didn't want to do. Yeah. I hate when the ink drips, it's so sticky, it's gross. It dries pretty fast, so it just stays sticky on there. It's like getting syrup on your fingers, and the rest of the day, everything's sticky. fold this up. It's like kind of dry. Check it out. Coming along. Wolverine. Here we go. We'll call it finished and move on to the next one. Booster Gold. This one they wanted in full color. Sorry. This will be fun. Some colors out here. Let's see, what color is Booster Gold? I know he's not the basics. It's blue and yellow, right? You guys are gonna call me a fake geek girl, but I don't think I've ever actually read a comic book with Booster Gold in it. I own a few. Like I've got Heroes in Crisis sitting right over here, but I have not read it yet. So I've seen him in the cartoon. I know he's from the future, and everybody thinks he's annoying. So that's pretty much all I know about Booster Gold. When I say everyone thinks he's annoying, I mean all the other superheroes, because I know he's very popular with the fans. Yes, I know what color Blue Beetle is, okay? Yeah, Bill, I think I have that Batman team up with Booster Gold also somewhere. That was around like the wedding story, right? Again, I have it, haven't read it yet. I really want to read that. I've got Tom King's whole Batman run sitting in a pile that I've been using for visual reference recently, but I haven't had time to actually read more than the first issue or two. And Booster Gold did not appear in those. Good blonde hair color. Let's do yellow, I guess. Can't see, I'm just trying out different colors on my color sketch thing. Yeah, there's a delay between when I say something, when you guys see it, and then it shows up on my screen. So we can't really talk in real time, but that's okay. And you're spending time drawing, not talking anyway. Let's see, here I am in West Orange, New Jersey. It was last year, the same night, Saturday night of Comic-Con. What time is it? It's about 10:30, 11? 11:30. I was at some rooftop bar getting free drinks and food at the Webtoon party. So, man, this is not nearly as cool. If you guys ever go to Comic-Con, try to get into the Webtoon party. They definitely throw the best parties. DC, the DC parties I've been to have been pretty good too. Definitely recommend those. But they tend to be a little harder to get into if you're not actually part of the company. But Webtoon is it's usually a little bit easier to find someone who can get you in the door. Sean, you're a little late to get a commission right now, but if you are interested in getting some of my art, you can check out my art dealer's website, Anthony Snyder, or anthonyscomicbookart.com. He's got all my original pages, a bunch of sketches and stuff like that. There's a lot there that you can pick up. Otherwise, I've got this Batman drawing here that is unclaimed. If you're interested in a Batman piece. And actually, I also got some random stuff here. I got this Tila drawing. I can't see it. Let's see. That I started but never finished. It was just like a warm-up piece. I'd be happy to finish that for someone. And I got this drawing that I think is great, but it was for a girl who wanted a picture of herself as Spider-Gwen, but I used the wrong reference, so I had to redo the whole piece. And I saw this. So if you know anybody that has long, curly, dark hair that this could be a good gift for, I'm happy to let you have it. So just think about it. But otherwise, my requests list is definitely full and then some right now. So sorry. mom's joined us. Hi, Mom. Oh yeah, my brother Brian just put a link up there uh, to my art dealer site. Thanks, Brian. And Torsten is asking, what's my favorite character to draw? It's probably Deadpool, just because I've drawn him so much. And he's a lot of fun to draw, and at this point, I'm pretty good at it. Like I know, like I know how to get a good Deadpool drawing pretty confidently. So I like drawing him because he's pretty easy. But then I've got other favorites like, you know, I've had a few chances to draw Skeletor, and I love doing that. And I don't know, there's a lot of fun characters. Batman, I really like drawing Batman. Spider-Man's always fun. Venom's a good one. I like him better than Carnage. Carnage has all the crazy detail. Venom is just much simpler character design. You still get the cool parts of all the teeth and the tongue and the slime and everything. Two other characters are fun to draw. Colossus is usually kind of fun to draw. He's another reflective character, which I know I said that I don't like doing, but for some reason with him, because of the way, like, that kind of, I don't know, what do you want to call them, joints or something in between the different metal plates. Because of the way that works, it's easier to do. It's not as complicated as like Silver Surfer. And so, it's actually kind of fun. Which is similar to Cable's arm, but like I mentioned in the podcast earlier, if you were watching, Cable's annoying because he's got all the pouches and guns and details and stuff that you want to include. So I'd rather draw Colossus than Cable. Jordan White, if you're watching. Let's see. Somewhere in the Marvel universe, there's a female version of Miles Morales. Oh, because of the Spider-Gwen drawing you're talking about. I'm assuming that's a reference to that. Hey, man, there could be. There's Supergirl, Batgirl. Maybe there's Ultimate Spider-Man girl, too. This will be cool. Cool thing about these markers is they blend together really easily, which I don't usually take full advantage of, but will make a cool shiny effect. pretty cool. Kind of looking shiny. Now, let's get the blue. Try some good blues for this. Right. I don't use I don't color things very often because I don't really know which colors look good together off the top of my head, like I should, but Torsten's asking what am I saying your name right, Torsten? It's asking what am I working on currently. My two current projects are I'm working on season 2 of Outrage still, which I know I'm very late with, but we're making progress and hopefully it will be out soon. I'm also working on a project for DC that is not announced yet. I'm hoping it's going to be announced this weekend or has been announced. I don't know, but until I get the word, I don't want to officially talk about it. But it's something for DC. I think somebody, maybe me, mentioned that it involved Batman. And it is a lot of fun. And it'll be really cool. I can't wait to be able to, tell people the details. It's a very cool project. So between the two of those and the kids being home all the time, I'm definitely keeping myself busy. Which is why I am working at 11:30 on a Saturday night instead of relaxing like a regular person, watching other people work on YouTube or Facebook or whatever program you're watching me on. Yeah, thanks for sharing the link for Outrage. Get us some hits. All right. What do you think? Let's see. Captain America one. Let's finish this one. These guys are at least there's something to look at. This light is kind of blinding everything. I can actually see what's on my desk. You ask if my kids read comics. Well, they're too young to really read, so I mostly read them to them. And they love comics, especially Will. He loves all of it. From Dogman, I was reading Dogman the other night, and he loves superheroes like crazy. I got him a book recently that's Scooby-Doo. It was like a collection of the Scooby-Doo team-up books. So it's like Scooby-Doo teaming up with Batman and Wonder Woman and Teen Titans Go and all this stuff. And he loves that one. And then he's always stealing my comics and bringing them upstairs. So yeah, sometimes I have to be careful because I was just looking at like I really appreciate all the things that I used to read stories about parents complaining about Spider-Man or Batman comics being too violent for their kids, and I definitely appreciate that now because you think like, oh, he's reading Batman, that's gonna be a fine comic for him to read, and you look at it and it's like, oh, sometimes it gets dark, and sometimes there's some things in there that you don't really want to have to explain to a kid. So yeah, parents definitely be careful about that. You can't just let your kid walk in and grab any old Batman comic. But some of them are great. Like there's a Ninja Turtles versus Batman, or Ninja Turtles Batman team up comic that he loves. The one that's I think he doesn't have the James Tynion, Freddie Williams one. He's got the more cartoon based one, but he loves it because he just thinks it's awesome to see the Ninja Turtles and Batman team up together. And then he also loves the Ninja Turtles Power Rangers team up comic, which is an incredible comic. If you haven't checked that out yet, like, man, it's way better than you think it's gonna be. It's better than it has any right to be, but it's awesome. So yeah, my kids love comics. Caroline was on earlier talking about, she's only one, but she was talking about Batman and Spider-Man. I want the light to erase all the drawings, but I do have to be able to see things. Brian, you got the, wasn't there another comic in there too? Or did I just get you the Batman one? I can't remember. I knew you'd like that Jogdor thing. That was a Kickstarter that when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I gotta get this for Brian. We'll have to play it sometimes. That's why I was hoping that you would be there for 4th of July at the same time as us, but maybe next time. Hey, what's the? I'm sitting here drawing Captain America from the movie. What's the next Marvel movie that's coming out? Black Widow, right? Is that coming out soon? Has the release date been changed? Do you guys know anything about that? Yeah, kind of strikes me that it's been a little while since I've seen. Or when did Onion come out? Was that last spring? I don't know. And then what's the next one? I know some people are like super on top of all the movie stuff. I, don't pay without honestly without the conventions. I don't know what's going on. That's where I learn about these things. Usually from whatever's advertising on the lanyard around my neck. I saw something that says Star Wars was being rescheduled, but I didn't even realize they had another Star Wars thing coming out soon. What's the next Star Wars movie? I know they're making some TV stuff. I mean, obviously production's going to get slowed down. Um, November 6th for Black Widow. I mean, is that just as far back as they can push it? Or are they hoping that there's a vaccine by then, or are they just, is that the point where they're just like, fuck it, the show's, the show must go on. And then, you're gonna have all the dickheads on Twitter saying that, oh, the sales are so low because they had a female lead in it. And it's like, dude, you realize that's not the reason, right? Oh, so Black Widow hasn't been pushed back? Okay, that's interesting. So wait, they were really gonna go all summer without a Marvel movie? That sounds crazy. Where's my buddy Manny? He would know this. He works on those movies. Although he might not know the release dates. But he probably does because he's a big nerd. These ones that were dead. Yeah, the next Star Wars, like that would be cool if we can get TD on there, but um, we'll see. I don't know. Star Wars has been kind of hit or miss recently. By recently, I mean since 1984, whenever the last Ewoks movie came out. As far as I'm concerned, that was the last great Star Wars movie. Yes, it was great. So shut up. You know, the Marvel movie I'm most looking forward to is the next Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor in it. That one, God, those are one of the best scenes of Endgame and uh, Infinity War. Like when Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, man, those guys together are so good. So that's one I really can't wait for. And the next Spider-Man movie, I think they've been pretty good. Well, I wasn't as psyched about the Mysterio one. It was okay, but that Homecoming, man, Vulture in that was so good. Who would have ever thought that you could give a crap about the Vulture? But man, they made that one fantastic. So, you know, if they can bring that kind of magic back, that would be awesome. The more recent one where with Mysterio, just the more recent one with Mysterio just didn't seem like it. Like they just weren't taking themselves quite as seriously in certain respects. Like, you know, there was a lot of like teenage love triangle stuff happening, and I found absolutely none of it believable. So there was a few scenes with MJ that I thought were okay, but you know, it was kind of like his buddy, what is his friend's name, Ned or something like that. In the first movie, he was so much fun, and I loved every scene he was in. But in the second movie, like I just couldn't stand him. He was just so annoying. Which I know was the point, but I just felt like they lost. I don't know, like they were making a joke out of him. They were making a joke out of him when he, you know, used to at least have some kind of depth, even though he was sort of a side character. Just like he seemed like a human being and acted like he actually had some, you know, like more than one dimension going on. But whatever. They can't all be winners, I guess. Oh yeah, that's right. Eternals and Shang-Chi. Yeah, the Shang-Chi one, I think that could be pretty cool. Eternals, we'll see. I have about as much love for the Eternals as I do the Inhumans, possibly even slightly less. And I don't know. I just think of them as being very similar, and they are similar in a lot of ways. And we saw what they did with the Inhumans, and so I don't know. We'll see if they can make Eternals more interesting. Um, but hey, they've been able to work magic sometimes. You know, like who would have thought Guardians of the Galaxy could have been as good as it was? Although that is at least a very interesting and fun comic, so I think they had a lot to work with there. So I don't know. We'll see what Eternals turns into. So Captain America. This was technically all gray. I mean, black and white. It's and gray, but sometimes it's cool to use two different shades of gray to bring out a little bit of, you know, just hints of colors, the warms and cools. I don't know. It's fun. I like working with the different tones like that. Booster Gold. for anyone who didn't see it before. This one's full color. Wolverine also. Now, let's see. All right, now let's do some. Okay, I want to finish that Ghost Rider one with that go. This one's so close to being finished. So here, I just want to add a little bit of background to it. Well, actually, don't let me forget these because I want to. Once the ink's all dry, I want to add some white highlights. Right, so this one. I'm actually going to use some paint. Better paintbrush. Where's my paint? These are the watercolors we'll be using. First, I'm just going to get the paper wet to the parts where I want. I don't want to mess up the drawing I've already made. So if I get the paper wet, and then add some paint to that, the color should stay to the places that are already wet. I have to light hit it at the right angle so I can see where the water is. This will probably make the paper warp, but that's fine. I know how to flatten it out later. Some red. This is Cosmic Ghost Rider, so I'm going to start with some red and then add some black and do like, yeah, it'll be cool. I hope, or it'll be a disaster. Sometimes it can go either way. Put something here. I don't know. Maybe I just want to give people something to look at online. Because my hand, I know, covers up the artwork half the time. Too much water. A little too much water. Actually, you know what? That's fighting it. So just trying to mop it around. Let's mop it up with this. It's supposed to be black up the top anyway. Cool. That's kind of cool. Now, I sometimes like to do is mix black ink directly with watercolor. Let's see if that works this time. Just have to worry about spilling the ink because ink does not clean up nearly as easily as watercolor does. But it's a much nicer black. Water this down. Yeah. It's Cosmic Ghost Rider, so he's got to look like he's in space. Then when it dries, I'm going to splatter some stars onto there, which I think should be pretty cool. This paper was not made for all this water. That's okay. It'll bend right now, but I can flatten it later by putting a bunch of really heavy books on it. Luckily, I've got a lot of heavy books. That's what those artist editions are for. Hey, Carolina, what's up? Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Just live streaming my sadness at Comic-Con being canceled, or Comic-Con at home, which just makes me sad. Steven, you're asking what the watercolor set is? I don't know because it's all in Japanese. But I got it at an American art store, art supply store, and it wasn't, good price for it. It wasn't too expensive. But it's like green, like it's the green. You know what? You can guess. I don't want to mess up this. If I spill my ink, I'm going to murder you. And I will blame you. And I will find you. It'll be your fault because you want to know what kind of watercolors I'm using when you know damn well I don't read the labels on things like that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is my quarantine haircut, which is the same thing as having no haircut at all for months and months and months. But it's kind of fun. I kind of hate getting my hair cut, so we'll see how far this goes. When we're done with this, I just might have an 80s rock band. I don't know how to play guitar, but I will have the hair. think we gotta let this dry. Move on to the next one. That's happening. If you can see this at all. But I'm not going to tilt it while it's so wet. Take a look at that one later. All right, now let's get on to color this one. Not sure if this person actually asked for it to be colored, but I really want to color it because the piece looks cool. Might use paint for the background, but foreground will be I use markers just because they're faster. Which yellow do I like for the highlights? Lemon yellow or canary yellow. Those are the scientific names for them. Lemon yellow and canary yellow. Let's do lemon. Oops. This is why cars are so annoying. He's got all these little tentacle things that, venom goo is my son calls it. They come off from them. And they're not like uniform or patterned or organized. It's just chaos, which is what fits the character, but makes him a pain to draw. It's kind of cool when it just has the yellow on there. I don't know if the color is coming through, but it just has a cool glowing effect. Let's see. Red. think it's the one that's for spoken. Most of it anyway. Yeah, I definitely save money from skipping the barbershop. Hey, Dino, what's up, man? Yeah, I've as many commissions as I'm trying to do today. I've got so many. I don't know. It definitely stresses me out thinking about how many because it's so people they're like, oh please, please, please. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just do one more, and the next thing I know, uh, I've got so many freaking commissions to do. That's okay. I love you all. I love drawing pictures for you. Carolina likes tentacles. Somehow I'm not surprised. Dean, are you still there? What are you doing these days? You're working on the next chapter of your New Brooklyn Red Hook series or something like that? What's the story, dude? I miss hanging out in the studio with you guys. Um, I asking about Outrage. I'm working on it. It is, I know I'm late with it, but it's definitely still in the works. I was drawing some new pages just yesterday, and so hopefully we'll be able to start releasing it soon. It's just hard, with the pandemic and everything. I've got to spend half the day watching the kids, um, and it really just threw off my whole schedule for the year. But we finally got a babysitter, so and she's been a huge help. And I'm able to get back on a somewhat productive schedule now. So uh, yeah, so hopefully we'll be back on track soon, or more or less. Um, we'll see. I don't know. You'll definitely hear about it. Don't worry. You're not going to miss it whenever it's finally time to start releasing it again. Honestly, I kind of want to just release it now, like, and just because I've got a bunch of chapters done, so I kind of want to just release it now and then just like put it on future Riley to deal with the consequences of jumping the gun. Because sometimes that extra pressure actually, forces like magic to happen. Although sometimes it also forces falling on your face and making a disaster happen. But um, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I know that Webtoon is like they're all about like just take as much time as you want before you launch it because they would much rather have it launched late and continue to run consistently than to miss a week while it's in progress. So that's something that I've got in my mind as well. You need outright. Well, let me see. Let's see if I have some sneak peeks I can show you. Let's see. Here's some outrage pages here. So, there's a bunch of new characters this time. There's Kenny working with some government intern people that are helping him do whatever he was tasked to do at the end of the first season. Here's a new villain for Outrage to fight. Well, technically this is two new villains, but the big robot guy is the more interesting one than the, furry with the baseball bat. Let's see, is there anything else easily on hand to show you? Some random villain designs. Yeah, Homeland Security gets involved with this one. It's definitely over the top. So anyway, I don't know. I've got things in the works. It's happening slowly, but it is happening. So yeah, so it's going to be a fun season. And it's just about, fucking coronavirus is ruining my life. And I'm sure a lot of us can say the same thing. Especially you're down in Florida, so you're getting it worse than any of us. But at least your kids are old enough that they don't, need you to carry them and change their diapers and stuff every 20 minutes. Not change diapers every 20 minutes, but you can't leave these little jerks alone. And now I also have like a half dozen Wiggles songs stuck in my head. So, so I know I'm late, and believe me, I'm paying the price in so many ways. Also, the funny thing about having little kids is, you try to do a million things a day just to wear them out so they get tired and want to take a nap without putting up a fight. But half the things I do to try to wear them out are actually things that just wear me out and don't and don't have much effect on the kids at all, because it's all just me carrying them around, or throwing them in the air, pushing them in a swing, or pulling them in a wagon. I'm like, wait a minute, you're just sitting there. I'm doing all the work here. I tried making them pull me in the wagon, but we did not get very far. They're asleep now, but I guess you missed the. I did a shorter video earlier today, and Caroline snuck in, and she was helping. She was trying to help with the drawings, which became close to disaster there. But eventually I got her own paper. I don't know if the video is still on my feed, but that one part at least is pretty fun and worth checking out. I want to try to get Will to sneak in on one of these and just talk about superheroes, because, like, it's just the funniest thing. Get him. I'm gonna try to get him to give a recap of like a Star Wars movie or a Superman movie or something like that, because his understanding of things is priceless. Hey, Brad, what's up, man? How's your haircut doing? I'm sure that you haven't gone out much in the past, half a year either. Although I might have a head start on you because I desperately needed a haircut before the pandemic began. And, I don't need it. Well, maybe I do need maybe I'm feeling better off now. It's kind of late in the day, but earlier, man, I had a flow going on. It was pretty epic. That's good. I'm glad that you're not in the thick of the Florida outbreak down there, Carolina. That, I guess when you have a state full of Florida mans, that's what you're bound to get. Yeah, chewing on your beer, that's one way to personally groom yourself, Stephen. Sure. Let's see. Working on it. Steven, you want to hear me talk to some people about working in the comics industry? Well, as luck would have it, one of my way too many projects I'm working on right now is me and George O'Connor, another great comic book artist, are have been recording a podcast recently. We haven't released any of it yet, but it's a lot of fun, and we've so far we've done maybe 4 episodes or something, maybe 5. I don't know. We still have to figure out how to actually upload it somewhere and where to upload it to. Um, but yeah, that's the type of thing we talk about. Is just working in the industry and uh, yeah, all that stuff. Getting some origin stories and uh, all that, and just some of the business stuff. We try not to get too businessy, um, but a little bit. I don't know. We're still trying to figure out exactly what type of interviews we're doing, because kind of like we want to talk about. We want it to be interesting. We don't want to have the same interview everybody has. Like, how'd you break into the industry, and what project are you working on now? Although we want to get to some of that stuff, but so we're still kind of figuring it out. Um, but but it should be fun. It's gonna be a fun podcast. A little bit more creative and playful, I think, than some of the comic book podcasts out there. Like if you just want a good informative podcast, you can never do worse or better. I mean, I don't know. The best one out there is definitely Word Balloon. John Sutrus will just like talk to guys for hours and hours and hours, and it's great. And there's so much great information there. So we don't want to. That's kind of what's on my mind. I don't want to do like Word Balloon light. I want to somehow figure out some other thing that we're bringing to the table that's unique to our show. I think we've got a few things, but we'll see where it goes. But since you got me here and I'm just sitting here alone drawing, if you have any questions for me about the industry, feel free to ask. Unless you left, Stephen. I don't know if you're still there. There's only one person watching right now. I don't know who it is. All right. A little more progress. Now it's starting to look cool. The inside of Carnage's mouth is pink, right? Some artists don't really know how to handle his teeth mouth area because he's got like black teeth and the inside of his mouth is pink. And that's kind of confusing, but you just got to go with it, man. Just let the shadows bleed together and let the inside be lighter than the outside. It looks cool. I mean, once you change that, it doesn't look like Carnage anymore. It's such a distinct part of his character. Yeah, cool, man. What kind of portraits do you do, Steven? Like, you painting, or is it just, I don't know. Portraits could be anything from caricatures to uh, something for the president to hang on it, to hang in the Oval Office. I gotta tell you, if you're juggling between comics and portraiture, there's definitely more money in doing portraits. But doing like telling stories, doing the comics and stuff is certainly fun. Like I don't know, I can't imagine something that's more fun than this. Unless it's something with paid vacation. Paid vacation's pretty good from what I hear. I don't know, I've never had it, but digital realistic, cool. Have you ever tried doing like with paint? You know, because that's you do portraits. A lot of people like there's a big market for that. You know, a lot of people really want to get a portrait to hang on their wall or whatever it is. Grandparents love them. um, Rich people love them, and that's an important clientele that keep on your radar. Hey, John's here. What's up, man? I was just recommending your show. So I'm actually I was just talking about I'm starting a podcast soon with my buddy George O'Connor, and uh, yeah, we'll be doing interviews and stuff. And I just hold you up as the gold standard for interviews in the comic book industry. So if you've got any tips, I'd love to hear them. I don't know if we're gonna have the long marathon sessions that you do, but although we've recorded a couple so far, and sometimes it is pretty easy to just go off on a tangent for longer than you intend to. But uh, yeah, man. Any tips about doing a good interview? I'd love to hear it. Yeah, digital. Steven, you're talking about doing digital portraits. It definitely, it's not as messy. That's for sure. Um, the only things I think that I mean, I don't know. It just depends on what kind of clients you're looking for. Uh, I just have some friends that do portraiture, and some of the amount they get paid for that stuff is man, staggering. Especially if you get a good client, whew. $100. No, man. That's why you do it in paint. Give them something they can hang up on their wall. That's why I draw my comics pencil and paper. I wonder if I would be faster if I did it digitally. I don't know, but because that might be good. If I get more pages drawn. But when you have the physical art, I could sell some of these pages. Some of the pages you're lucky you can get $50 for them, but some of them, it could be several hundred to even several $1,000s for like a really good page, like a cover or something like that. So the original art market is still pretty hopping. That's just something, obviously so is digital art these days. But I love having that pile of artwork there that it's like, like this is what I did this week. And it takes up space. And just turning that blank sheet of paper, it's just white, just blank, nothing on it, turning it into something that someone's willing to pay money for. That's just, to me, a pretty cool feeling. But I've got a lot of friends that do totally digital art, and they're doing pretty good as well. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. It's one thing when you work digitally, it's a lot easier to find the color that you want. You don't have to worry about running out of ink or anything. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Not to work for beef. You said beef Jerry, but I imagine you mean beef jerky. When was this? Drinking with Kurt down in Giants? I'm assuming that's a spell check error. Brooklyn. Where in Brooklyn? I mean, it could be. I'm guessing either Gowanus or it could be anywhere in Brooklyn. But it's been a while since I've got out of the house. That's for sure. Gowanus. That's what you meant. Yeah. Um, yeah, those were the good old days hanging out in Gowanus. I miss those studio guys. But there's a point where when you have kids, it's like you just want to go somewhere you got a little bit more space to spread out, let them run around in the backyard. And you want a parking spot because seriously, living in Hoboken for so long, man, I just wanted a place to put my car. That's all. Might have gone overboard with the house. We've got two-car garages, which is a little unnecessary. We don't even have that many cars, but I have all the parking I want. No more parking tickets for me. Fill in the markers. We're gonna upload the podcast eventually. Well, I don't know. That's a responsibility George took on himself, and so and if that's one less thing I have to do, I'm not gonna question it. And I imagine it'll be on YouTube. We want to put as many places as possible. YouTube certainly seems to be a popular place for those type of things, and we've been doing uh, video recordings as well as just audio. So it'll probably be YouTube and you know iTunes, I guess, SoundCloud. That's something that sounds like the thing where you listen to podcasts. I don't know. Like I said, that's George's problem to figure out. Making progress. I'm gonna do background. I guess I think paint would probably actually be the easiest way. What color? Probably like a cool color, I'm thinking. There's a lot of warm colors there. I mean, Moonlight is kind of a cool color, but I don't think it's that bad if he blends in a little bit. Also, he's going to have the sky surrounding him. So. Yeah, that should be easy. Maybe kind of like a bluish, purplish something. Let's see. Oh, this one's dry and starting to look pretty good. Gonna add some stars in there in a few minutes. All right. Thanks for watching, Steven. See you later. So we're working on a Spider-Man piece here. Which color? Figure out which color to do the background. Ooh, one more. Oh, when this is done, I'm calling it quits. Let's mix these two. Mhm. Purple. Let's try that again. That's black. That's too bright. All right. Looks like nobody else is watching, so I'm gonna call it a night. Um, might still work for a few more minutes, but time to turn the old live stream off. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.